Hi guys, welcome to the video today. I'm going to walk you through 14 websites that I really recommend, and I virtually use these every day. They are so valuable to me and to my business. Now I'm going to leave a list below the video, but I thought it would be helpful just to quickly show you through them and also just explain what I use them for. Okay, so if we just pop down here. Sorry about that. So if you're wondering how I capture these videos, these screen capture videos, I use Screencast-O-Matic. Now there are more expensive screen capture software out there, but basically I couldn't afford it at the start, and I started using this and I just really love it. I'm not a person that goes into huge amounts of detail on the tools. I like to just have something that works every time. It's easy. Now if you wanted to do a lot of editing, you probably would need something a little bit more advanced, although I find that this works for me. You can blur out areas, you can do transitions and things like that. You might not know what I'm talking about, but that is possible with this. But it's also possible just to do a straight screen record that I do on most of mine. I don't tend to do a lot of editing on them. And you can pause it and stuff, so if you need to have a break and things, you can just pause it and then come back to it. So it's brilliant. Now it is free, although there is a pro version, but it's just $15 a year. I mean, it's nothing, is it, really? So I actually upgrade to that one. It gives you a few different options. So that one is definitely worth checking out if you want to do some screen capture. You can use it in all sorts of different ways. I mean, you can do videos like I do, showing you around, showing you how to do something. You could also show around your own website, some of your products on there, talk people through, what you do in your business, what you create. Even if you do something, purely product based, like some handmade jewelry, or if you've got a pet sitting site, you could show images of the work that you do. You can use it for literally anything, so it's really handy. Okay, so the next one I want to talk about, we're going to talk about creating graphics. Now, I'm not graphic trained in any way. I don't have any graphics experience, and therefore I need to use sites that are really intuitive and really easy. Now, you've probably heard me talk about PicMonkey before. This is super brilliant for things like, adding text over images, adding quotes, putting your URL on there, touching up your pictures of your products. There's a whole editing kind of suite on there, basically. Now obviously if you're a Photoshop person, then you're going to probably stick with that because you know what you're doing. But if graphics aren't your strong suit, but you just want to be able to create some nice collages, some nice, images of whatever you do in your business, this is perfect. I do have a video on PicMonkey, and it's also something I'm going to be doing a little bit more training on. I'm going to be doing an introductory webinar to it, so if anyone is interested in anything like that, just keep a lookout. Now the next one is Canva, and I had it at the beginning and then I didn't do much with it. But I created like an ebook the other day, and that was so good for doing that. Again, this is free to use. Sorry, I should have said with PicMonkey, it's free to use. You can upgrade if you want to for some additional fonts, some overlays and things like that. And I think that one is still $33 a year. So they're not monthly things, they are just yearly. Canva is free to use, but there's loads of free images in there, but there are some paid images, and if you want to be able to use those, they're $1 for each time you use them. So you might want to have a look at that, or just use the free version. You can also upload your own images to it as well, so it works both ways. So Canva is a great one to use, and again I will be probably doing some videos or a webinar on that going forward, just to kind of walk you through the overview. Right, the next site up is Colorzilla. Now, You might not use this a lot, but I have it just on my toolbar. You can see there it is just up here. Now what this is if you see an image, maybe, a colour in a photo perhaps that you've taken or on a site, and you think, oh, I'd really like to use that colour maybe in my text or something. Like for example, say you wanted to pick what that colour, the hex number of that yellow colour was. By having this, you just click on it, you go to the page colour picker is active, and then you just hover over it, and then you can see at the top of the screen as you move over it the different colours come up that are in there. When you find the one that you actually want, the little square at the top, you just click on it, and then it copies the hex number. That disappeared before you could see it, but it copies the hex number to your clipboard so that you can then use it maybe on PicMonkey or something as the colour of your text. So really super handy. Now you can download it for either Chrome or Firefox, so you just click on there, download it, and then it puts it up onto your toolbar. So that's just a really handy little tool. Okay, now the next ones we're coming to, it's not a very nice title for this website, but basically when you're using Canva, you're using PicMonkey, you often want to find images that you can use, you know, on your, maybe behind your quotes and things like that. Now Morguefile, I don't use this one as often, but if you're looking for something in particular, it can be quite handy. So let me say like a post box. So then you can see, because you can put that in, you get all sorts of different post boxes come up. If I just click on one of those, you just need to read the what you're allowed to do with these. Most of them, they let you use them for the purposes that you want. You're allowed to copy, distribute, transmit the work, and to adapt the work. So these are just taken, you know, by lots of different people, and they get added to this file, to this website. So as you can see, it's a great way of finding all different kinds of images. Okay, so the next two sites are really beautiful shots you can get on these sites, all kinds of different images. Now the first one is Unsplash. This doesn't actually have a search function, which does make it a little bit tricky. Now these are free, do whatever you want, high resolution photos. You can subscribe and they'll send you 10 new photos every 10 days. Or you can just scroll through, there's an all section. So this one, if you click on it, just shows one picture at a time as you scroll down. I find this grid one better, so you can just quickly look through. There's a featured or an all section. And these are great for adding quotes to, for using on your website, for illustrating different things. Now, as I say, the only tricky thing is the fact that you can't search, but just scroll through, and then if you think you're going to use some of them, just download them. Now some of them are very massive photos, like 4,000 pixels by something, so just resize them before you use them on Facebook or the social media sites, because you don't want to be uploading a massive image. You don't want to be uploading a massive image to your website either, because it will take up too much space. So just resize, but there's loads and loads of gorgeous shots on there. Now the next one is Pexels, and I think a lot of the photos that are on here actually are also on Unsplash, but there's some differences as well. Now this one is more of a mixture of free, and also they try and point you towards some stock images as well. So you can search on here. I don't know if anything will come up. Rabbit, and let's just try dog. So there you go. If you're a pet sitter, you've got a pet site, have a look through and you can use these. Now the ones at the top you can use, and then you'll find that it goes into sponsored photos, and these ones down the bottom you'll actually have to purchase, but normally I can find things at the top from what I want to use, because normally I'm just adding quotes, as I say, or adding them to my sites. So again, that's a gorgeous site, really nice to use. You're not sure of the license or anything, you just click there and you can find out exactly what you're allowed and not allowed to do. These ones, again, the top ones, not the ones that are sponsored, are completely free to be used for any legal purpose, so no doing anything illegal with them. Okay, so the next site I want to take you to is Clicky. Now, Clicky is a web analytics site, and I use this instead of Google Analytics. Now, if you love Google Analytics, then there's no reason to change. The reason I like this is I find it easier to just look around and see where my traffic's coming from, what the traffic is coming in that day, where it's coming from. For one website it's free. I've got a few websites, so I have to pay, I think up to 10, it's $9.99 a month, dollars, something like that. But you might just be fine on the free version if you've only got one site. Now there is another option on here which is called Spy, and you can actually see where people are coming in from in real time, if that's of any use to you. That actually I think is a paid version, so only available on the paid version. I don't know whether it will be worth it for you or not. You can have a think about it. It's sometimes good if you're wanting to see in real time, like as you put a post out, where most people are coming in from, whether it's the US, Europe, etc. But the key thing with this is that it's like analytics, and I love it for just the ease of access of finding out what's popular on my site, where people are coming from, if it's social media, what platforms within social media, etc. Now the next site is Click to Tweet. Now you've probably seen on websites where it says, it gives a quote or something, and then it says click here to tweet, and then when you click on it the tweet is all set up so it's ready to go out, and that's what this site allows you to do. It is free, as long as you don't want to track too many tweets. If you want to track lots, then you do have to pay, but for my own purposes I just use the free version. I don't really track kind of the results that come in from this. Maybe I should, but I don't. I just like to see I just like the ease with which you can set up a tweet. So say you had a new blog post or a giveaway maybe, and at the end of your giveaway you can just say, please click here to share this giveaway on Twitter, and then what you do is you set up the tweet and you go over at Cartwheels Across the Sky, and you actually put your Twitter handle in there. That way you can see where it's getting shared. You can say, please find my latest giveaway. I've got whatever it is that you're giving away, a 3 hours coaching or something to be won. And then obviously in there you put the link to wherever the giveaway is as well, and then you can either make it a requirement of entering your giveaway, or you can just ask people to do it. Sometimes just by being explicit and asking people, not everyone, but a lot of people will. Sometimes it's just that they don't realise that they can click the share bar at the bottom of the post and share your things, or often they don't have time, etc. But if you explicitly ask for the tweet, they will often do it. So again, that's a really cool site just to set up and do that on some of your posts. Now the next one I want to show you is Wunderlist. And this is my to-do list basically. You can use it across your desktop, your iPhone, all sorts of different things. It's free to use. It has actually just been bought by Microsoft, but I love this. It's just so easy to add your to-dos. You can have like an inbox. You can have different lists if you're trying to do like a home one, a business one, or any kind of combination of things in there. You can add importance. You can put dates on there of when something's due, and then you can sort it so you know what's due first. Sometimes if you get completely bogged down in your business, you don't know whether you're coming or going, using an app like this just allows you to sit down and download your head into the app, put some dates on it. So it's a really good tool for just sorting out. Sometimes if everything's going around in our heads, we just don't know what we're doing next. But by writing it all down in here, and also then you can reorder stuff, you can change the dates of it. Whereas if you've got it all on paper, sometimes you have to keep writing it again and moving it about. So this is a super awesome tool to use. I know there's a lot of to-do lists. If you already use one that works for you, then don't move. But if you haven't used one yet, this is a really good one. And as I say, you can use it across all platforms. I've got this on my phone, on my iPad, on my desktop as well. Now the next one is Penzu, and this is actually more of a journaling or an online diary. Again, it's a free. If you do want a few extras, you can upgrade. I just use the free version, but it is you can password protect it. So I use this as a diary, as a note taker, not notes of things to do, but just more kind of in depth if I'm trying to plan out something. So this is a really good tool. If you're not much into journaling and diary, then maybe not so good for you, but I find that one's really good. Now the hello bar. You've probably seen on websites when the hello bar just drops down at the top of the page. It's not a pop-up, it just kind of appears as a band across the top of the website. Now you can do all sorts of different things with this. You can ask people to tweet out what's on that page or share it across Facebook. You can ask people to sign up to your newsletter, or you can just do like an announcement. Say you've got a sale on, you can go, currently offering 20% off everything, blah de blah. Click here, and that takes you through to your store. So there's so many different things you can do with this. So just pop in, put your website URL. I think I use it on WordPress, and then you have to just copy the HTML over into a widget. I'm not sure whether you can use it on Blogger, etc., but it's definitely worth having a look at that one. And it's a really good way of just changing updates, changing announcements on your site so that you can bring attention to different things but without necessarily having a pop-up. It's less obtrusive, but I think it does get noticed because it drops down. And the last two things I just want to show you are scheduling tools for social media. So there's Buffer and there's Hootsuite. They've both got free options and paid options. So if you're just starting out, just try one of the free options. Now Buffer I like because you can queue things, so you can just keep adding posts to it from things that you find around Facebook. You can, once you've got it, it'll just say Buffer at the bottom of any update on Facebook, and then you can just queue that. So it's a way of spreading your posts out. What you do is you choose your social medias, and then you allot certain times of the day that you want posts to go out. Now that stops lots of posts going out at the same time, which Facebook doesn't like, because it feels like you're spamming the timeline. So it's good to space things out. It's also great because things will be going out even when you're not on the on social media, or even if you're on holiday, you can schedule things to go out. So it's a really good tool. Have a look. Buffer, I think, for scheduling. Hootsuite's good because you can set it up across a kind of deck, and on there you can actually look at if you're getting any responses, and you can answer people. Getting any retweets, you can thank people. So it's a little bit different. You can schedule things as well, but it's not so automatic as in queuing. I actually use both of them, but for slightly different reasons, and I love both of them. So just have a look, check them out, try out the free versions to start with, because then you can find out if you actually like it. When you're first going to Buffer, I felt a bit lost at first. I might actually do a video just to show you around Buffer, because it is really simple to use. It's just that you've just got to kind of key in on it and get used to it. So those are both brilliant sites. So I hope that's proved helpful. I just wanted to show you these sites that I use all the time because they are time saving, they allow you to do lots of different things, you know, the graphics are fab, and most of these things are free. As I've said, there are a couple of ones that you can upgrade, but they're very low cost. So have a look at those, check them out, see if you like any of them, and do leave a comment in the section below, the comments section below, either saying you tried these and you did or you didn't like them, or maybe if you've got any great websites that you use yourself daily, let us hear about them. I'd love to find out about some more. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'll see you next time.